what do you feel collectively in our earth, in our world, is wanting to be birthed through this pregnant pause? In other words, what's our biggest malady that's wanting to be healed right now? It's a very myopic question, but I think it'll lead to other things.
Yeah, I think it's the feminine energy. So the world has been on masculine energy for so long, and especially sales business. I was just in sales business and I had a lot of sales courses here and there. And NEPQ is big right now, and that is selling from your feminine energy. So the world is now turning from old way of sales business into new way of sales business. And the old way was the masculine and the new way is the feminine. So if you imagine you go into a jeans store and you're going to buy something and you have this one, jumping on you, trying to sell you a pair of jeans, and you're just like, whoa, what's going on? And then you have this one who's chill, laid back, and just, I'm here if you need me. That is what I think is happening with the world right now, because sales business is in everything. It's in dating, it's in social media, it's in all workspaces, it's everywhere. And if that space is turning from masculine to feminine, so is the energy. So is I'm always speaking quite slow, and many are, surprised that it's even working because of our attention span and all of that. But it's working because it's turning.
And it's turning, you mean the collective lens, like the collective energy of how things get done is moving to a more integrated, really integrated masculine and feminine, because the energy exists in you, right? Like when you do something that's finite, you're exercising your masculine power. And then it's in my logo for the business, it's on the screen right now. Literally, it's a triangle. It's on the mic flag right here. The upside down triangle is water. So water and feminine energy is something that for my whole life has just perplexed me. I'm like, really? You do it that way? Because I've always approached things from like this masculine, finite, almost square or circular perspective. And I find it really fascinating that I think what you're saying is true. And I think there's some great truth in that. But I think it also has a shadow, because something you and I have chatted about, and I know that this will be polarizing, but we get to go for it because it's fun. And that is, there's a dark side of feminine energy, just like there's a dark side of masculine energy if it's not integrated. And that's key. It has to be integrated properly with a space of love and consciousness. Feminism, really, it wants something, but it's exercising itself in a way on planet Earth right now that's actually doing the opposite of what it wants. The feminist movement, feminism. You had told me that on many of your coaching calls that women ask you, how do I get more into my feminine energy? How do I be in that flow and that understanding of what it is to be feminine? And you said, well, you have to be able to open yourself up to speaking to a man about how to get support. I do it maybe 1 or 2 times a day. I thought that was really fascinating, because many of the women you work with, they immediately would say, well, how do you do that? I don't think I can do that. I think that's where we're at right now in the evolution of consciousness, where there actually is no war. There is no man versus woman. There is no patriarchy versus feminism. It's all just fucking totalitarian regime that keeps people bifurcated and divided. I wonder if you could speak to that, because the slowness in which you communicate and the way in which you're serving in the world, it's attracting these women to you that themselves are paradoxically behaving in the opposite way that's going to bring them the very thing they want.
Yeah, so I'm always saying that I'm not a feminist because I love women too much. And it's an unpopular opinion, but you can't be fully awake and still call yourself a feminist. There's just no way, and feminism wants to say that they are aiming for equality, but still it is a movement that is pointing towards that it's a difference between people, that it's men and women. And we need to get to a space where we become one. And this is in everything. This is in countries, America, Sweden, your country, my country. No, Josh, we're on a planet. We're here together. We are one. And that is what we all need to realize. We all need to come together as one. We don't even need men's circles, women's circles. No, we need to get together as one.
It makes me think of the Beatles song where he's like, come together right now. Beatles had it right. Hippies had it right. There's so many platitudes in our world. Are you familiar with this term, platitude? It's like, love is all there is, little squares on social media. And we all hear these things. And I think a part of us knows they're true. But I want to go back to this feminism piece because for a long time, I was so triggered and so hurt by the dark side of feminism. And it's because I didn't have boundaries in my previous relationships that I was then projecting onto my current partner because I didn't have essentially the gusto or the personal awareness to be able to honor my boundaries with women in my 20s and even in my early 30s. It wasn't until I met Carrie Michelle where it was like a course in boundaries. Marianne Williamson has a course in miracles. Well, when a man gets with the correct woman for his soul and vice versa, it's a course in boundaries because we get to look at all the ways in which we've abandoned ourselves and we haven't actually laid down our boundaries and enforced them with our soul's expression. Have you experienced this? And how do you feel that boundaries are actually broken boundaries are fueling the epidemic of disconnection with feminism and with feminist ideology?
Can you explain that more with how that feels for you?
It's like in my past, there would be things that I wasn't okay with that I would say yes to because I didn't love myself enough or I didn't have enough personal strength to be able to say no, to be able to say that I'm worthy. And so therefore this is a boundary. And so just like any energy or any finance or any exchange of energy, things stack up, resentment stacks up, and then it comes out sideways to where then somebody I really care about, they're getting a lot of my old energy from my life because I didn't have the courage or the awareness to actually enforce those boundaries. I get the sense that a lot of women who have been deeply hurt and deeply wounded by men are using feminism and the feminist ideology as an unconscious way to get back at men, just like men unconsciously get back at women because of the stress that they've been through and the pain they've been through. And so my question with that as a pre-frame is, how do you think that these broken boundaries are actually fueling feminism and fueling the feminist ideology?
Yeah, of course, I am aware of that. It is horrible things happening to women because of men in the world. We can't deny that. That is true. But I do believe, I'm a big believer that what feminism wants would manifest and we would actually see that come true if we would remove feminism. Because we need to come together as one, but we also need the healthy, inspiring, good-hearted, lion kind of men to rise and help us in this. And if we look at a tiny scale and if we look at a big scale, it doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. So if I'm too much in my masculine energy and I'm saying I don't need your help, I can do this on my own, I don't need you, that is the energy of feminism. We can do this. Then we're also telling those men that we would need help from that we can do this on our own.
Which then further perpetuates the wound. And this is I get the pain, I feel the pain, I understand it. And like I said, I've come to terms and come to peace with it. This podcast is therapy. I don't know if yours is the same way. Do you ever feel like you get therapy from your own podcast and from the content that you put out? It's like your therapy as well.
Yeah. My podcast is everything. It's instead of calling someone nowadays, I'm just like, I need to record.
Exactly. I have so many people, neuroscientists, behavioral psychologists, emotional intelligence, relationship specialists, and I'm just so grateful. I'm like truly grateful to be able to share because I think when you talk about the lion heart of a man, if you look at lions in nature, or even if you look at Spartan warriors, they weren't all 100% masculine energy all the time. They know how to play. They know how to open their heart. They know how to read energy, and they know how to kill. I heard someone say, a real man who's integrated could murder and hold his children in the same day. And that's a real man if called forth to do so. Of course, I would never want to do that or welcome that in my life. But I think that when it comes to being a man, and I'll speak as a man, protecting and providing and having the switching capacity, Jenny, to feel our emotions, to understand our woman and to read the space, it's daunting, y'all. It's a lot for us because we are really wired on a physiological surface to hunt, protect, and provide. But then we are being called forth right now on Earth. And this is what I think everybody can feel. A truly integrated masculine man, like a lion, is able to play, have joy, touch his feminine energy, be able to read the space, be able to feel the space, and be able to make millions of dollars, be able to provide for his family. I wonder how you see that aspect being called forth in men right now, the ability to be both, the ability to do both, and to do it wholeheartedly, not because we should, but because that's what's being called forth right now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I think it's it's very popular right now. Go into your feminine or masculine energy, and the thing is that it's reverse engineering. So if you want to step into your feminine, you need to practice your healthy masculine energy. So the more I practice, I really practiced, like military practiced my masculine energy for 6 months. And I just got more and more comments on my feminine energy. And I was like, what's going on? I'm practicing my masculine. Can't you see that? But it's the other way around. So when you master one part, then you're able to fully thrive in the other. And then you go to the other, and that's how it works. But you do want to reach the middle, like you're saying. It's so nice when you can feel like, I'm pushing, I'm providing, but I can still, put the phone down and be with, your woman and in feelings and in deep conversations for hours, and to be able to be both. That's everything.
It really is everything, especially when you have children. So I don't know if you want to have children in your future at some point in your life.
I got that question the other day, and I answered that for me, being a mom, it's so wide and huge that I'm also like, if me being a mom is 5 dogs, I'm good too. I'm really an animal person, but I do believe that I'm here to become a mom to a child too. It's just that, I haven't found that lion yet.
Hey, if you loved that clip you just saw, watch the full video. That clip was just a taste, just a piece, the tip of the freaking iceberg of what you just witnessed and what you just felt. Click the link on this screen, subscribe to the podcast, click the link on this screen if you're vibrating, if you're resonating, if you feel what I'm putting down.